The New York Times plagiarism consultant, Jonathan Bailey, reassessed accusations against Vice President Kamala Harris, deeming them more serious than his initial impressions suggested during his analysis of the allegations. He clarified that his earlier comments were based on an initial reaction rather than a thorough evaluation of the plagiarism claims involving Harris's work. Bailey noted that using Wikipedia as a source compounds the plagiarism issue due to its perception as an unreliable resource for academic writing.
The Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris is facing allegations of plagiarism, and that was for her book Smart on Crime, which is co-authored by John O.C. Hamilton. The incident came to light when the conservative analyst Christopher Rufo highlighted Austrian plagiarism hunter Stefan Weber's report, and the 49-page report accused Harris of copy-pasting, raising questions on the credibility of the book. As per the report, 27 instances of fragments of plagiarism were found in the book. The 248-page book was published in 2009, when Harris was running for the office of the Attorney General of California. In this report, Weber criticises the use of direct quotes. He notes that while some sources were cited, much of the text was copied without quotation marks, undermining the integrity of the work. Responding to Christopher Rufo's highlights and Weber's report, Republican Vice President candidate J.D. Vance has slammed Kamala Harris. Vance posted on X that he, unlike Harris, had written his own book. In 1998, an incident of plagiarism and fabrication forced the US President Joe Biden to quit the presidential race. Meanwhile, with only 3 weeks remaining for the presidential polls, both Kamala Harris and Donald Trump were in Pennsylvania to appeal to the voters in the key swing state. Earlier, Harris debuted an economic plan targeting black men as her campaign aims to win back voters in key demographics they've shifted away from the Democratic Party in recent years. Well, our correspondent Susan Tehrani brings us more on Harris's attempt to woo those black voters.
Energize black male voters through economic opportunities and policy proposals addressing concerns about lack of enthusiasm. She has granted interviews to prominent black male personalities, including Roland Martin and Charlemagne the God. Meanwhile, former President Donald Trump is focusing on the perceived threat of immigration, notably illegal migration targeting Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander adults who view legal immigration as being beneficial to the United States and economic growth. Meanwhile, the Arab American PAC has declined to endorse either candidate, citing threats to their principles and policies.
In a prior New York Times article, Bailey characterized the examples as errors rather than intentional fraud, reflecting a more lenient interpretation of the allegations against Harris. Bailey acknowledged that when considered collectively, there was a breach of academic standards in Harris's work due to the direct duplication of long passages without proper citation. Critics argue that Harris's actions reflect a lack of diligence in research and citation practices, undermining her credibility as a leader and public servant. The ongoing dialogue around Harris's plagiarism allegations underscores the challenges faced by public figures regarding accountability and the consequences of their professional conduct. This controversy has the potential to influence public perception of Harris, impacting her political career and her role within the Biden administration moving forward. As the situation develops, it remains to be seen how these allegations will affect Harris's political future and whether they will lead to further investigations or repercussions.